Hi, my name is Emma Sutton, and my current event topic is Child Welfare Services and Finances. What will be discussed in this PowerPoint is child welfare and their finances, how the funds are used to provide resources, and how they can differ from state to state. Depending on the state, the child welfare services will vary. Some states are provided with more funds, therefore are able to provide more resources for the children in the foster care systems than others. According to the surveys conducted by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, over the last decade, several children and families in the system do not receive their needed services. Services provided by the child welfare funds. Some services are hard to come by, including substance abuse treatment and assistance with material needs. According to the American Psychological Association, these children in the system, especially the younger ones, are at such a higher risk of emotional, behavior, or substance abuse problems had not received related services in the past year. Again, all services provided do vary by state and county. These services that are provided include the following: services for children to prevent abuse and neglect, child protective services, providing payment for foster or kinship care, and adoption. Child welfare. With the overwhelming number of children entering into the system, the government has been forced to make some revisions to their policies. It is up to each state for how they decide to use their federal funds. That is why you can see such a difference in each foster care system depending on the state or county that they are in. The Government Association Office conducted surveys to show the primary emphasis of subparts 1 and 2 varies somewhat, but the range of services offered and the types of families served overlap significantly. No single category of service was funded solely by either subpart. The Title IVB, Subpart 1 and 2 of the Social Security Act was put into place for the state social services system for families who are struggling and are at risk for being separated. These two subparts do go hand in hand with each other, and they do assure the safety of the children as well as preventing unnecessary removal of children from their family. Child welfare support is not just provided through these two programs, several other programs are involved. Social policies and child welfare. How child welfare services are funded are directly sourced from the federal laws. Social policies impact these services significantly. A social policy that is directly related to the child welfare services and their finances is the Family First Prevention Services Act. This act has become a law. This law was implemented new structures of federal child welfare finances ever since the Title IVE entitlement, which came about in 1980. This act was put into place to have child welfare services provided more resources to families struggling, as well as putting restrictions on these federal funds being used for the foster care placement. The U.S. Constitution has elucidated this issue and has made it very clear that the state in which the child and family resides is solely responsible for their welfare. Although it is mandated for child welfare programs to receive funding, not all states are allotted the same amount. Each state and their financial spendings do vary, but states collectively plan to spend the largest part of their federal child welfare services funding, 45%, on child protective services. This past year, the total fiscal year 2019 funding for child welfare was about $9.8 billion. Human rights and child welfare. This issue can fall under Article 26 in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights Act. The grounds for this article are found within child welfare policies. As the Universal Declaration of Human Rights states, everyone has the right to a standard of living adequate for the health and well-being of himself and his family, including food, clothing, housing, and medical care, and necessary social services, and the right to security in the event of unemployment, sickness, disability, widowhood, old age, or other lack of livelihood in circumstances beyond this control. Motherhood and childhood are entitled to special care and assistance. All children, whether born in or out of the wedlock, shall enjoy the same social protection. The child welfare system is responsible for the well-being of both the child and their caregivers, if they are unable to take care of themselves and/or the child. Discussion questions. In what ways could the government implement new policies to help improve child welfare services funding programs? And number 2, do you believe the government is doing all they can to provide resources for the children in the foster care system? Thank you so much for listening.